On today's docket is the Sumpple S610 web-based security camera. And I'm gonna be defending my undecided rating. Stand by, court is about to start. This is the Savage Scientist Ed right here. And I'm Uber and police car. What up, folks? This is the Savage Scientist. Today we're gonna look at the Sumpple S610 Wi-Fi based security camera. It's a dome security camera that costs about $150 on Amazon. Comes in 3 different variations: a 32 gig, a 64 gig, and a version with no SD card that's $129. So I'm about to unbox this thing today, show y'all what this is like, and I'm gonna set it up and configure it on the computer. So let's get the box open. Come with the driver CD, whole bunch of instructions, probably a warranty card. This is a thank you card for purchasing it, and this is the device. This offers 355-degree rotational view of the subject, of the scene. Protective stuff around there. And this is the connection suite. So this is where the power plugs into the device. Makes an airtight seal right here. Airtight, watertight seal on the power cable. And I'm thinking this is audio, Ethernet, power, and wireless. So I'm thinking that this device should not be hard to set up. It's a very simple thing. 4 screws to mount to the surface on the building. It could be mounted to this could be mounted to a brick wall, or it could be mounted to a wooden structure. This thing is Wi-Fi compatible. So this is the Wi-Fi antenna. It plugs into the back up here like this. So I'm gonna go ahead on, go up there like that, and then it pops out like that. And we have this is the power cord. Power cord right here. Ethernet cable, mounting screws, and this is hard plastic. This thing's supposed to be night vision. Yeah, it is night vision, because you can see the, I don't know if you can see this, but they are night vision infrared lights on this thing. It's a pretty badass looking camera. This thing costed $155 on Amazon. This is the Sumpple S610. Okay, let's take it to the PC now and get this thing installed. This is the driver CD that came with it. So I'm about to pop this in my computer. As you can see on the installation, this camera is compatible with PC, Mac, and Linux based computers. Really any computer that you could install a browser on. In order to get the most from the browser experience, you have to run Internet Explorer, because it requires ActiveX. There's some ActiveX components that this thing relies on that make it so you could set save locations and do many different administrative tasks on the computer. So, do many administrative tasks on the camera. With that being said, I will definitely have to take points off, because this thing should have been compatible with Chrome, and it should have took advantage of of administrative tasks using Chrome instead of Internet Explorer. Internet Explorer is being phased, it's already phased out, and is definitely technology that's going away with the dinosaurs. Now let's look at the Android app. The Android app came a long way. This thing used to freeze up and mess up a lot. This app used to crash all the time. But it seemed like they've been making steady improvements on this app, and it's a little better. I mean, you could set presets, you could do everything you could on the ActiveX based PC version. It could be done on the app. Have presets, and this thing could do a rotation where it goes side to side, and I could see around 2 different corners. It has automatic night vision. That's real great. And these are the presets. You can set 10 different presets on this thing. So this is 2. And it automatically goes to that location. And this is 3. And there's options that you could change the hue, lightness, and the contrast. And this is the normal actions to manually move the camera. Oh, and this is the feature that makes it so it moves all the time. It's continuously going left to right, panning left to right. And it could also pan up and down if that's your desire. Let me turn that off. And this is the button that you use to talk through it. Testing, testing. So the speaker on the outside will be saying testing. This is the record button. This is the snapshot button. This is the zoom button. And this is to see all the recorded videos on here. Alright, so let's take a look at some sample footage from this thing. This thing records at 960p. And it only gets lower from there. This is some daytime footage. Here goes some night vision for you. I'm panning the camera. Here goes a zoom test. It's not the highest quality, and you definitely can't read license plates and make out documents or make out words, but it's good enough to see criminal activity. Alright, so we arrived at the point where I have to get this thing, the elbow smash, the salute, or I just have to be undecided on this. Anything above 4.9 stars gets 2 salutes, a double salute. That means you gotta go and get this thing. And if it gets anything between 4.5 stars and 4.9 stars, that means it's something you got to have, and it still gets a salute. And if it's between 4 stars and 4.5 stars, it's undecided. And anything less than 4 stars gets the elbow drop, elbow smash to the ground. It needs to be taken back to the store. It's a piece of crap, in my opinion. But all the opinions are really up to the consumer. So if there's something that you specifically want in this, even though my review didn't cover it, or if you see something that I didn't see, put in the comments. Tell me what you think about this Sumpple S610. Enough of me talking about this. I'm ready to start getting this out the way. Primary function, I give this thing 5 stars. It works great as a security camera. It's one of the best security cameras you could buy. The night vision works, pan, tilt, and zoom works. You got 4 times zoom on this thing. It works great. The wireless and the wired features work. And it supports OMVIF. That's the open source community for security cameras. All that works great on this camera. So now, moving on to the features and the uniqueness of this camera. I give it 3.6 stars. It only records in 960p, so I had to take off for that. It should have been at least 1080p or 4K. I know a lot of, 4K I might be pushing it, but it should at least be able to do 1080p. And there's no loop recording. This thing doesn't allow for video to be recorded and then re-recorded over. If the memory card fill up, then you're going to have to delete the files manually. I do not like that. So that's why I'm taking points off. There are a lot of good things about this camera, like the pan, tilt, and zoom functions. Alright, so moving on to ease of use. I give that 2.5 stars. And I'm starting off with this, and I might be a little generous with this because the apps are terrible. I mean, even though the app came a long way before the updates and before the major improvements, this app was even worse. So the PC ActiveX version of the app is terrible. It deserves 1 star if I was grading it alone. So it's buggy. It uses ActiveX. That's crap. And it doesn't use Chrome. It don't support Chrome in any modern browser. So now let's look at some more things that's wrong with this. You've got to keep restarting the app. Or you have to keep restarting the browser. It'll time out and then you got to go back in. But sometimes you might make changes while the app is frozen, and then you might wind up destroying the device because you might be moving the camera over and it might not be showing it moving. You might restart it and then the app just stopped working. The camera is still moving in some of those instances. So you might come home and the camera might be broken. So you have to watch out for that, and that's because of this buggy app. So it's hard to change the SD card. And you have to unscrew the top or move the camera at a certain angle. It is difficult to remove the SD card. But while you have the SD card in there, it's also difficult to record to the SD card. And you don't get a lot of options in like loop recording and special recording options. And you can't record directly on the SD card by simply hitting the button. You could do that on the app. You could record to your local device, but you can't record to the SD card. The SD card is mostly for motion capture or something automated. So some of the good things about this is it's easy to set up the alerts and email notifications. Those things are easy to do. You could easily set things like cruise, presets. All those things are easy to do in the app. The app is beautiful, especially the Android version. And I would suggest use the app. Do not use the PC version at all. Try to avoid that thing at any price. But if you're using a third party, if you're using something third party, then you might have to use PC. The design, I give the design 5 stars. It's a very professional looking camera, and there's a dark tint around the dome so people can't just look at it and stare at it and try and figure out what the camera is looking at. And it's IP66, water resistant. It comes in 2 colors, white and black, and this thing is rugged and strong. I done dropped it a few times while installing it. Very easy to install. So overall, I give this thing a savage rating of 4.0 stars. That means you have to go out and buy this thing at your own risk. Here are my recommendations, some things to look at. I can't give it a salute, and I can't give it an elbow. But I really was very, very much leaning towards dropping an elbow on it, but it's not getting an elbow. 4.0 stars. This is the Savage Scientist giving you all a nice review of the Sumpple S610. And I'm out of here. Peace out.